If 2 days ago someone would tell me he travels through time, I would say he's mad. But today, this madman is me. I've somehow managed to get myself caught many years back inside Forgotten City. A city who kills people in it if they disobey some kind of dreamer law. I talked to the Jarl of this city in order to help me get back to my time, but he said he will try to help, but not earlier than I find the one who is planning to break that law and wipe the whole town. As I also do not want to die here, forgotten by the world, I have no choice but to investigate this, and hope I will see the real sun one day. That must be a rival log Jarl told me about. That Macy, she's missing, and what kind of potential the Jarl wrote about her?
Got my eye on ya.
Hey there. What is your story, old man?
What? Did you say something to me?
Yes, I asked what your story is.
No use talking to me, young'un. Can't hear a word you're saying. Both me ears went years ago. Still got my one good eye, though. All I need. Used to be a vigilant offender till I slipped up. You take it from me. You ever find yourself toe-to-toe with a flame atronach, you make sure you put some distance between you before you kill it. Otherwise, whoosh. Eyes, ears, and hair gone, all at the same time.
Why does the Jarl need a guard with the dwarf's lore?
Sorry, young'un. No idea what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going.
Still can't hear ya.
Oh, hello, Yormund.
Working hard.
Can you tell me a little about yourself?
My story? Well, I'm from Markarth originally. Started working at Kolskiga Mines as a lad, and after a while, the Silverbloods made me foreman. I was doing pretty well for myself, until somebody decided to knock me down the shaft into this place. I had a wife and son. Still up there, I suppose, though they probably think I'm long gone. But chin up, right? Meanwhile, I'm stuck down here, supervising workers to earn me keep, waiting for the day that I can get out of here and back to my life in Markarth.
Do you know any way out of here?
I wish. Seems like dwarfs designed this place to keep folk in, but the only thing that keeps me sane is thinking there has to be a way out.
Is everything fine between you and walkers?
Well, I'd be lying if I said they're happy, but I'd also be lying if I said I cared. They're decent people and all, but they seem to have an hard time grasping that somebody around here's got to work the farms, or we all starve. Gulver's the worst of the lot. Seems like a decent man at first, but he's got a temper on him. Once he told me he killed a man before he came here. He'll tell you, if you ask him. Of course, down here with the dwarves law, a bad temper could land us all in a lot of trouble. I'd keep an eye on that one, if I were you.
Well, thank you. I'll be going now.
Alright, well, I'll see you around.
Hi there. I'm Saren.
Nice to see someone in the Citadel who isn't an Imperial for a change.
And who are you?
Well, as you know, the Jarl is my father. Or, at least, that's what he tells people. What he doesn't tell anyone is that I'm adopted. And the worst part is, I don't even know why he adopted me in the first place. I mean, he doesn't seem to care about me at all. Sometimes I feel more like his prisoner than his daughter. If we weren't trapped in here, I'd run away in a heartbeat.
Your father sounds very controlling, isn't it?
Oh, he really is. He's always telling everyone what to do. I don't know how everyone puts up with him. Did you know he calls this place his Citadel? And he and his friends don't do any work. Everything gets done by the people down in the city. He'll probably try to make you work for him too. But don't just do whatever he says. People around here should really learn to stand up to him.
Do you know any way out of here?
You know my father would be upset to hear you ask that. I love it. Me, I'm not even allowed out of the Citadel. I'm so bored. Father doesn't want me mixing with the common folk. He's all, why don't you read one of the books Gaia brought you? Books? I'm almost 18. I want to have fun, like normal girls my age. Or do anything to take my mind off where I am. I thought about getting one of those awful Nord tattoos. Father would hate that. But then that bitch Asanchi told me about her skooma habit. I don't want to drink it, oh. But if I get some, I just know I could get that junkie to spill her guts about everyone in this place.
Well, I guess it's our lucky day today.
You got some! Well done! Now, take it down to Asanchi in the kitchen and see if you can squeeze her for information. It'll be hilarious.
Dear Journal. Oh, so cute. Today is my father gave me this journal to help. I know you're reading this. I may be dead, but not. Sincerely, Trevor. Nothing special. Well, let's say for a moment that almighty dwarf's law really exists. Who and how is observing this place to see if the law is broken? That's the question. What's this? I just need to write this down. I love you. Another sad story. I wish I could not read this. This dwarven statues heads something they are not usual, and they are almost in each room here. Could that be?
We can talk, but be quick. Dominus could be back any second.
Dominus? Who's that Dominus and you?
I'm Saphira. I'm from Markarth, from a part called the Warrens. If you've never gone there, don't. Just don't. About a year ago, I met a guy there. Said he was there for business. Nobody has any business being in the Warrens. But he had coin, and when he saw me, and I saw a way out. Long story short, I followed him here. The more I think about it, though, I would have been better off in the Warrens with the beggars and skeevers.
Do you want to break with him?
Guess you haven't met him, huh? Take my advice. Stay as far away from him as you can.
But isn't the dwarf's law protecting you?
If only. Look, whoever dreamt up the dwarves' law didn't think it through. Maybe it was meant to protect people, but what it really does is make everybody too afraid to stand up for themselves or challenge people in power, and Dominus knows that. He's next in line as Jarl of this place, so he gets his way by threatening to punish anyone who doesn't do what he wants. He's never physically hit anyone here, but the point is, he doesn't have to. I've seen him make grown men cry. Nords, they don't cry easily. I cry most days. I think about leaving him, but where would I go? He says he'd make sure I wound up living in poverty again, like poor old Dooley.
That is horrible. Can I help you somehow?
No, interfering will only make things worse. The only way you can help me is to find a way out of this city, or do something about the dwarves' law. I don't know if there's a way out or not, but there are places beneath this city nobody has ever explored. If I were you, I'd start with the tunnels.
Thank you. I'll try to figure that out.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
And maybe you know some way out of here.
Funny, I was gonna ask you the same question. Not here. He can hear
Hey,
us.
I saw that. Look at me. Do you think I don't notice when you check someone out?
I wasn't, Dom. I swear. Please don't be angry with me.
My name is Domitus, not Dom. You know, one of these days, those wandering eyes of yours are going to get you in real trouble.
Hey, friend.
Not here.
Maybe you calm
Here.
down a
What
bit
is it?
and tell me your story, for example?
I'm sorry, what's my story? What in oblivion is your story? How dare you come in here like you own the place and expect me to explain myself to you?
Oh, well, I understood. You're a big guy. I'm Seren. I'm quite new here.
I don't care who you are, but pay attention. There's a pecking order around here, and I'm at the top of it. Well, after the Yowl, of course. So work hard and do what I tell you, or you'll wish you died and gone to oblivion.
You know, friend,
Got it?
of course I'm friendly, but speaking to people like that is going to provoke someone to hit you once.
Nonsense. Not even a peasant like you would be stupid enough to do that. Everybody knows it would break the dwarf's law and get us all killed. So I'll speak to you and the other peasants as I see fit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Got it? Now get out of my sight. I'm sick of you.
What a scum. We'll talk again later, I promise you. Oh, hi there. Sorry for disturbing you.
Oh, look, I have a visitor. How lucky for me.
I'm Saren, and you here. What's about you?
My story? It's about a quiet man who preferred to keep to himself. Short and sharp.
Do you know any way how to get out of here?
Yes, I do. Death. Death is the only way out of here.
Well, I guess I should go.
You do that. Oh, look, I have a visitor. How lucky for me.
Hello, I'm Saren.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you?
I just don't care. But for the tactical purposes, I'm loyal to Empire.
That's odd. You don't look like an Imperial. Can't be helped, I suppose. These days we've got to accept help wherever we can.
Oh, sure. Yes, I think so.
Now, I expect you'll have questions about how this place runs. Happy to share what I've learned. What did you want to know?
Well, what have you been working on in your workshop?
Ah yes, my workshop. Well, of course, as an engineer through and through, I couldn't resist the urge to dismantle some of this dwarven technology. How complicated can it be, I thought. As it turns out, it's extremely complicated. You see these gleaming dwarven busts in every room? Well, I think I know what they are. They all seem to be connected to the pipes running all over the city and down the front of the citadel. And I've seen these things before in other ruins, but these are different. Their eyes are glowing with blue light. Have you noticed? But whenever you see one of these things, remember, someone or something is watching everything you do, waiting for you to break the dwarves' law.
Well, I see, thank you, but do you understand the technology behind this citadel?
Yes, well, not completely. A little. I think I understand the pipes that run all over the place. See, they mainly carry water. There's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the citadel inside. Water then trickles down through each floor to the lake. But that's not all. It seems the water flowing through these pipes causes these gears to rotate. And when that happens, they somehow create light. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Not that I would need to, with all the lights in this place.
I see. Well, thanks for this technical clarification. But I still have another question. Haven't you noticed any suspicious behavior lately?
Suspicious behavior, you say? Ah, so the Jarl has found a task for you, keeping tabs on us, Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, friend. Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial stock, so you don't have to worry too much about them. But now that you mention it, lately I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, mostly late at night, I swear I can hear a woman sobbing. I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not Gaia next door, so who could it be but a ghost? Gods know a lot have died in here.
Thank you, once again, and see ya.
Right you are.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I'm Seren. Can you tell me about yourself?
I'm a Breton from Hyrak. I've studied history at the Imperial City, which led me to Skyrim in search of Dormer ruins. And now I'm here. Some days I just can't believe my luck. Working with Bro, researching the richest source of Dwemer history and technology I could have imagined. I feel like we're on the brink of some amazing discoveries about the Dwemer. Who knows? Maybe we'll find not all of them have disappeared.
I see then. So maybe you can tell me more about history of this place.
I could, but Brawl knows much more than I do. You should really talk to him. Ask him any question you have. He's amazingly knowledgeable.
And maybe you know a way out of here?
A way out of here? Are you kidding? Why would I want to get out of here? I can't think of a single place in all Tamaria I'd rather be.
The scientists. So maybe you need some kind of help or something?
Now that you mentioned it, I do. I need you to get something for me, and it won't be easy. I've tried everything I can think of, and still nothing. There's a big Nord living down in the city called Rikus. You may have seen him walking around in an immaculate example of dwarven armor. I need that armor. It's the only one like it, and I believe it to be crucial in unlocking the secret of this place. The trouble is, before I could get a good look at it, that brute Rikas claimed it as his own, and has been wearing it ever since. I've tried everything. Appeals to his better nature, flattery, charm, even threats. It's like negotiating with a brick wall. The only thing I haven't tried is violence, and you know how that would end. But I'm convinced there's a way to get it. There has to be.
Alright, I'll try to get it.
Thank you. If you do manage to get it, you're welcome to keep it. I just need to have a quick look at it, that's all.
Get away from me, peasant. I don't want anyone seeing us together.
Oh, hello
Get
there.
away from me, peasant. I don't want anyone seeing us together.
This scum is starting to piss me off.
Help! There's a looter coming into the city.
Huh? Calm down. Looters? Where? What did you see?
I saw a man come down the shaft, but he was armed and he looked like a looter. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' law, and who knows what will happen. You have to stop him. Everybody, go home and lock your doors.
Looters deep underground. At least now it's starting to look as usual day. Damn, where are they all? No. Are they in city already? Come on, boys! Here we go. Where are they? Need to kill them all fast, before they kill someone.
Just out for an
Everybody, go home and lock your doors.
Just out for an evening stroll. Not a soul stirring. Quiet as the grave. Just out for an evening stroll. Not a soul stirring. Just out for an evening stroll. Not a soul stirring. Quiet as the grave.
Is that Dark Brotherhood robes? What? Whatever. No one breaks the force law in my shift. Die already. Quintus? I did not see a man with such a name here. It seems this city has much more secrets.
Is it over?
Yes,
Is it safe?
they all are dead now.
Oh, thank the gods. What a relief. We're so lucky that you arrived in time to stop them. I'll be sure to tell everyone what you've done for us. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Habik and I can do to help you, just ask.
Well, if you insist, start from telling me your story.
Oh, there's not much to tell. My husband Habik runs the clothing store in town. You should stop by. I'm sure you'll leave looking much better. Not that you don't look good now, I mean, it's just... You know, nice clothes are... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm no good at selling anything. I guess that's why they've got me sweeping the floors day in, day out. Well, that, and we weren't invited to be layabouts in the Jarl's Citadel.
Layabouts?
Did you see anyone working in the Citadel? I'll bet you didn't. They just amuse themselves all day while those of us down here do all the work. And why? Because Habik's a Redguard and I'm a Breton. I bet if we were both Imperial, it'd be a different story. The worst part is we left Solitude to get away from bigoted Nords after our son died. But here the Imperials are even worse. Of course.
You mentioned your son is dead. I'm sorry. What happened to him?
Oh. No offense, but I'd rather not talk about it. Too many painful memories. And besides, there are enough sad stories around this place as it is. But if you're interested, you can talk to my husband, Habik, in his shop, Firefly
With
Farming.
all this tyrannic situation, have someone ever thought about challenging the Jarl?
What would we do? Start a rebellion? No way. Not after the dwarves' warning. You know, the many shall suffer for the sins of the one, and all that.
So, most of you here really believe in it, right?
I'd be a fool not to. If you're not convinced, you should go and talk to Brol in his chambers. He knows more about the dwarves than anyone. All right.
By the way, these looters were looking for an Imperial named Quintus. Do you know him?
Quintus? No, there's no one by that name here. But if you're looking for an Imperial, I'd check the Citadel. That place is crawling with Imperials.
Don't you have any ideas about the way out of here?
If I did, Habik and I probably wouldn't be here. But Urin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose. Nice to talk to you. See you soon.
It's time to know more about this law and everything. Hello? Bro? Anybody there?
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Seren. Don't you mind telling me your story?
My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative? Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work?
Oh, okay, you win. I just wanted to know what you do and where you're from.
Well, why didn't you say so? I research Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kragenmoor in Morrowind. Any other questions?
What can you tell me more about this Dwarven law?
Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the Citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burned corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the dwarves' law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior.
I hoped that maybe you know a way out of here.
Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it.
But the dwarves disappeared long ago.
True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover?
Well, what is that spinning orb above us? This sun?
That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about.
And one more question if you not mind. Do you know anything about the time travels?
Time travel? You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject?
Because actually, I have traveled here from the future and I won't go back.
I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask?
Well, let's imagine if you travel to the past. How would you return to the present?
For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else.
And how would I create this paradox?
Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else.
This was really interesting conversation. Thank you, bro. I should be going now.
Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover. Hello, neighbor. Made any exciting new discoveries?
So, the Jarl said it is my house here. Let's take a look. What an insane day. A time travel, stupid dwarves laws that can't protect people from humiliation, tyrannic underground Jarl, assassins, lost people. I need to collect this all together, but this will be after a good sleep.